Welcome back, everybody. We're doing another school highlight here from one of our sponsors, Northside Montessori School, and we have our head of school, Tara, here. Welcome, Tara. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Sorry, my virtual background's making me look like a scary ghost lady. So it's just not working as well as it did the first time. So I just wanted to start with just talking a little bit about your school. Tell us a little bit about where you're located, how long your school has been around, and what you do there.
Great. So Northside Montessori opened its doors in 1986, and it had the same ownership for the first 30 years. And after 30 years, they were ready to retire. So once Judy Edwards and Pat Young made that decision, my husband and I were blessed and able to purchase the school from them. So my husband and I are now the owners. I had been a teacher here for 16 years before purchasing the school. So have a pretty long history here. We are located on the south side of Broad Ripple on 52nd Street, right by the Monon Trail. We serve 3 to 6 year olds on downstairs, and then upstairs we have 6 to 9 and 9 to 12 year olds. Our school is in an old farmhouse, so it looks a little bit different than a typical Montessori school.
So tell me a little bit about that. It's in an old farmhouse. So how's the school kind of laid out, and what does your property look like?
Yeah, so we have a very, very large outdoor space, which is hard to come by when you live in the city. So we take full advantage of that. We have 3 very large playgrounds, a very large field. We have a garden in the back that the children take care of all year long. We have chickens in the back that the children take care of all year long. So the outdoor space is a major part of our curriculum every day. And then I always tell parents when they come in for tours, our school looks very different than a typical Montessori classroom. Instead of it being one large classroom, we have lots of smaller classrooms, and each room is a different curriculum area. And so also something different about our school is we have co-teachers. So instead of having one lead teacher and one assistant, we have co-teachers that all work together. So Miss Smith does language and cultural, and something very special about our school is that Miss Smith has been a teacher here since the doors opened in 1986. So we have students now in our classes that their parents were students here. And so Miss Smith was their teacher many years ago, and now she gets to teach their children, which is something that I don't think you can find at many schools. So Miss Smith does language and cultural. I do math and sensorial, and then Mrs. Sullivan does practical life. We also have a Spanish teacher, and we also have a teacher that does art appreciation. So that's the 3 to 6 year old classroom set up downstairs. And then upstairs for the elementary, it's the same thing. So a lot of smaller rooms. So there's a science room, a language room, math room, cultural. They also have Spanish and art appreciation upstairs as well. So
awesome. That is really special about Ms. Smith. I know that, and that's really special. So did you grow up as a Montessori student or in a Montessori environment? And how has your education influenced you being a part of the Montessori school?
yeah, so I did not grow up in a Montessori school, and there are many times where I think, oh my gosh, I wish I would have, because I did not become familiar with Montessori until I graduated college with an early childhood degree. And I remember there was like one paragraph in our textbooks that mentioned Montessori, but thankfully one of my friends had sent her kids to Montessori school, and so she had suggested once I graduated that I look into it and see what my options were there. And so I walked into a classroom as an observer, and I sat down in the chair and I thought, oh my gosh, this is so different than anything I'd ever seen before. I was just blown away by the respect that was given to the children, and by the children's independence in the classroom and what they were capable of. And so once I saw that, I knew it was exactly where I wanted to be. And so I was in the classroom for a couple years and then went and got my training. And I can remember the day I was sitting in teacher training for math curriculum, and our hands were on all the materials, and I received the lesson on the squaring chains, and I was like, wait a minute, it actually makes a square. No one had ever explained that to me, and I was just like, it was just like one of those aha moments that I will never forget, because it became very clear to me how the learning happens so easily for the friends, because it's all concrete, it's all hands-on, it just makes sense. And so once again, it was one of those moments where I was like, this is exactly where I want to be. This is how I want to spend my life. So I'm just so grateful for those moments that I've been able to recognize. And I think it's just a blessing to be able to find your passion in life and be able to make that your job. I feel very blessed by that.
Yeah, that's awesome. And how do you think, you've experienced in early childhood more traditional education and Montessori classroom? Why do you think Montessori is so beneficial in those early childhood years for your students?
Well, I mean, I think you just have to think back to how that development takes place and how much learning is going on at that time. It's important to remember in Montessori that it's all about freedom, but it's freedom within limits. And within those limits, we have high expectations for the friends, but those expectations are made very clear. And so in that age, they want to be productive. They want to be a positive attribution to the community, to the classroom, and they want to work. They want to be a positive part of the classroom. And so being able to focus on those things and give them the opportunity for that growth and to grow into being a leader, those are all things that are very important, that are sensitive periods for them at that time. So why not take advantage of that and give them the opportunities to be a great leader and to be a kind friend, and to help others, and really take on all those responsibilities that are necessary in the Montessori classroom.
Perfect. And what do you think makes your school's Montessori environment unique or special or different?
So I also mention this to parents whenever they come in for tours, because I know in our very small neighborhood, we have several what I consider quality Montessori schools. So I tell parents all the time, I say, it's really important to go and visit the other schools, because we all just have a little bit different personality, right? We all are offering quality Montessori education, but we just have a little bit different personality. And so for us, I think being in a house, there's something about the energy here that we consider ourselves a family. So we are very close-knit. I think that longevity of having the parents and now their kids here, I think that lends itself to that family feel as well. I also think that is a general consensus in a Montessori classroom, because you have them for the multi-year, right? So you have those students for 3 years. You really get to know them, their parents, their siblings, their grandparents. But we really focus, our community focuses on that family aspect. So that fellowship with each other, really supporting each other, and making sure that we create an environment here and we model for the friends that are here, being kind and respectful adults. That modeling is so important for them. So for us, it's that family feel. It's that we very much value respect of each other, and having compassion for each other. And it's important that the friends see that at school, but then that is also translated at home as well.
Wonderful. And we are making sure to ask each of our sponsor schools how UMC has helped you as a school, or how has UMC supported you um, just as your school in general, but also in the state of Indiana. How has UMC helped you?
Yeah, UMC has been an incredible partner for me personally as a head of school and for our school in general. I think the number one thing for our school is that UMC offers quality professional development at a price that a small private school can handle. Of course, we would all love to go to the national conferences, but it's not in our budget. So being able to offer the staff continuing education, and it's not just that, but it's the quality that is offered, is really important to us as a staff. And then for me personally, being a small private school, sometimes you feel like you're all alone. And so knowing that Carolyn is always available, knowing that there's always people on the board that are very educated, that the board is very diverse in what they, what their specialties are, what their strengths are, that's been extremely helpful. So I would say offering that professional development, those opportunities, and then just knowing that someone is available to help. And somebody's always available when you reach out and need something. And then a very beneficial aspect too is the job posting. We've really lucked out and been able to find great employees through the job postings through UMC. So that's another very beneficial aspect.
Awesome. And for those who don't know, if you want those job posting opportunities, you can become a member school with us. Just reach out to us through our website, or you can shoot me an email, umc.operations@gmail.com. But one of the benefits we have for our member schools is that we can do a job posting for you that goes out to our whole network. It goes out to job training sites, Montessori job training sites. So there's a lot of really good opportunities there. So thank you for that.
Yes, and can I mention one other thing? Also, as a small private school, the validation was really a big selling point for us, because once again, we would love to be accredited by AMS, but it's not something that number one, we can do, and number two, even if we could, the cost of that, is extreme. So for us, it was important that parents know and have that assurance that we are a quality Montessori school. And so having UMC come in and spend time in our school and observe really helped us, and that validation means a lot to us. And so we're very thankful for that as well.
Absolutely. And we have a newly sort of pumped up validation program. They just redid kind of our process. So it's really thorough, and it was put together by people with a variety of Montessori backgrounds. So it really kind of covers the gambit. So we're really excited once COVID is over to be able to ramp that back up and visit some of our new schools and offer that program, as well as work with schools on some of their state licensing programming as well. So we are really excited to dive into that. And we're really blessed that we've had the opportunity to validate schools like Tara's, because we learn a lot from that too as an organization. So we are excited about that. Well, thank you so much for your time, Tara.
Absolutely.
We really appreciate it. And thank you for your sponsorship.
Yes, and we're looking forward to the week of events. We're excited.
Yes, and just as another reminder, we are having our Absorbent Mind Plus One virtual soiree on Friday, everyone. So you just register for free. Go to our website, go to our Facebook event. You'll register through Zoom. It'll ask you a couple questions. It'll ask you if you want to donate, if you feel the need or the will to do so. And you can join us just for some social chatting, time to be together and vent and reflect and spend time with other Montessorians, since we can't see each other in person. So thank you so much, Tara, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you so much. Have a great afternoon.